Page, back with another case study from my consulting clients. These questions come from DOE lifetime members who can call me on the phone a couple of times a week and ask questions about how to make their online marketing better. Here's a question that I get pretty often. How can I make more sales without getting more traffic? You know, getting traffic is hard, and people spend a lot of time and a lot of money on trying to get traffic. What they forget to do is they forget to try to convert the people who are coming to their site now into customers in greater numbers. If you can increase your conversion and go from 2 out of 100 to 10 out of 100 people buying your product, you won't have to worry about more traffic. The painful truth is this: the vast majority of visitors to any website don't buy. That includes the big boys and the big girls. It doesn't mean just your site. It doesn't mean just people who have been online for 6 months or 6 weeks or 2 years. Everybody suffers from the same problem: a low percentage of people who purchase your product. Ask any online marketer if they're converting more than 10% of their visitors into customers on an everyday basis, and you'll find they're not. Now, sure, during these big, huge product launches where everybody and their brother is emailing you about their bonus package or that type of thing, yeah, you can get a high percentage during that period of time. But on an everyday basis, not so much. No one is. In fact, a 2% conversion rate is considered great. And when I say conversion rate, I mean 2 out of 100 people who visit the site today buying today. Most sites would love to get 2%. So here's the number one question. What happens to the 98% of people who don't buy? If only 2% of the people who come to the site are buying, what happens to the 98%? That's the number one question. Well, sadly, they leave and never return. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. They leave and never return. Now, there are two key questions we have to ask about this. Number one, why do they not buy? And number two, why do they not return? Let's dig into that just a little bit. Why don't they buy? Well, it's not because they don't want what you offer. If they do want it, or they wouldn't have visited your website in the first place. They probably found you through a Google search or an AdWords ad or some Ezine ad or something you placed somewhere. So they were interested enough to click and come to your website. But why don't they buy? Well, I believe there are a number of reasons. I'll just share a few with you. The first is they have unanswered questions. In other words, they don't immediately see the benefit of your product to them. And so they want to ask somebody a question, but because it's the internet, they can't. They hesitate because of the price. You know, in a down economy, people are even more careful about how they spend money, but this is always true. Good times, bad times, doesn't matter. People hesitate because of the price. They have that little bit of hesitation before they purchase. Here's another reason. They're not sure now's the right time. Well, I want to think about it for a little while. You know, I want to kick it around. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I have something like it already. Here's another one. They want to do comparison shopping. The internet's the ultimate vehicle for comparison shopping, and people love to do that. Another one, they don't know you, and so they can't trust you. Nothing wrong with you. They just don't know you. And we can't trust people we don't know. All of these objections can be overcome with follow-up email marketing. I'll show you why in just a few minutes. So, before we do that, let's ask this question. Why don't they return? You know, if they come to your site and they don't make a decision immediately, okay, but why don't they come back? Well, you know there are billions of web pages out there, right? You do a Google search and you come up with 114 million hits. You only look at what's on the front page. Let's look at some other reasons. Now, why do they not return? It's not because they don't want to return. They do. They want what you buy, what you offer. They want to buy what you offer, and they want to return and look at your site again. But they're busy. Are you busy? I'll bet you are. They're busy too, and they're too busy to remember where your site is. And they forget about you. You know, how many times have you said, yeah, I saw that really cool piece of software, or that book that I've been meaning to download that, or I wanted to get this podcast, but I can't quite remember the guy's name. How about this? No one uses bookmarks anymore. We really don't. Years back when it was Netscape Navigator and people were bookmarking and it was very cool and they were exchanging files of bookmarks, that was one thing. People don't bookmark anymore. They go to Google and they search. That creates an opportunity and a dilemma. Here's another one. They get distracted by emails that offer them a similar product. Now, your competitors are using follow-up email right now, especially if you're an affiliate marketer. And when your customers, your prospects, get distracted by these emails, well, it's the last marketer who gets the message out there who wins. Here's another one. They can't remember the name of your site. It used to be that getting a domain name that was easy to remember was something that you could do, but now we're going to all these hyphen things and we're using longer and longer URLs. Sometimes it's tough. And if you're an affiliate and you're promoting one of these != equals 1237Q jump hike type URLs, who can remember that? So not remembering the name of your site can be a big one. And then here's one that a lot of people don't think about, but it's true. They Google you and they find your competitor instead. Unless you're a master at this search engine optimization stuff, getting on the front page of Google, and by front page I mean the first 10 search results, is tough. So you've got a book about knitting and they're interested in knitting and they visit your site but they don't make a decision. A couple of days later they type books about knitting into Google. If you're not in those first 10 results, you're gone. All of these problems can be solved with follow-up email marketing. Absolutely every one of them. Whether you get 100 visitors a month or 10,000 visitors a day, the problem remains the same. You must make the most of every visitor. It's the challenge we all face. When you get people to raise their hand and give you permission to send them follow-up email, and it's very easy to do, when you do that, now you've got a lifeline to that prospect. They're not going to come to your site and leave and never come back because you're going to remind them to come back. So how can you solve these problems we've discussed? Well, you can offer them more information via email. This is really simple to do. Whether you have a blog or a website, or even if you're an affiliate who doesn't have a website of your own, there are services where you can put your sign-up form on other people's websites, and you can just simply offer them more information. If you want to take the next step, you can use an ethical bribe, as Alex Mondosian likes to say, and get them to raise their hand. I think that's a funny phrase, ethical bribe. Seems like a contradiction of terms. But basically, it's a gift, a downloadable report, or access to a site, or access to an audio in order to get them, to persuade them, to register for getting more information. Here's another one. Enter the conversation that's happening in their mind when you send them your follow-up emails. Now, that might sound complicated, but let me explain for just one minute. There's a conversation that goes on in the mind of everybody considering buying a product. And it goes like this. Should I buy this now? Can I really afford it? I don't know. Is my wife going to be upset? Is my husband going to be disappointed? Is this something I should do now? Is there a cheaper one out there? I wonder if this will go on sale at some point in the future. I wonder if this is the best of this type of product. You see, it doesn't matter what product you sell, whether it's information or whether it's knitting needles or golf balls. People have a conversation in their mind before they buy. The more you can inject the idea that your choice is a good choice during that conversation period, the better. And since we know only about 2% of people are going to buy while they're on your site, the only opportunity for you to enter that conversation is with email follow-up. Now, solve their problem. Your emails should say to them, I want to solve your problem. You can even ask them in your email what is on your mind and get them to reply to you or take a survey or interact in some other way. Calm their fears. Now, that seems like the same thing, right? Solve their problem, calm their fears, but it's not, because solving a problem is kind of unemotional. Calming their fears is very emotional. And the fact of the matter is, people buy on emotion and they defend it with logic. If that weren't true, we would all be driving the same car. Because what does a car do? It gets you from point A to point B. Now, some do it fast, and some do it slow, and some do it in red, and some do it in blue. But the fact of the matter is it's transportation, point A to point B. The reason we all have different cars, and some of them cost $12,000 and some cost $112,000, is because we buy cars emotionally, and then we defend it to our friends and our spouses and ourselves by saying, well, I needed new tires anyway. So you've got to calm their fears and you've got to solve their problem. And you have to tell them you want their business. How many times do you hear online the phrase, I want your business? It's just assumed. I mean, some of these marketers are so arrogant, it's like they're doing you a favor by selling you their product. You got to tell them, hey, I want your business. I want to work with you. Only follow-up email marketing can solve these problems. Now, that's a bold statement, so let me qualify that a little bit. Only follow-up can solve these problems. Maybe you want to add Twitter to the email marketing mix. Maybe you want to add blog posting. Maybe you want to add some other things. But basically, you've got to reach out to your prospects and let them know you want them to return. You want their business. And email marketing is by far the #1 way to do that. That's why everybody's doing it. But if you're not doing it, then you're missing out. So, what is your situation? Do you have an automated way to make money, to reach out to people and say, hey, join my business, buy my product, take my survey, whatever it is? If you stopped working tomorrow, would your income stop or would it continue? Follow-up is automated. Follow-up email marketing is automated. In other words, you build the system once, you set it up, and you forget it, and it runs and runs and runs. So if you do stop working, your income continues. Now, my lifetime membership at Follow-Up Selling Systems is closing. And I want to talk to you about what you get with follow-up for just 1 second. But I want you to know first, lifetime membership's going away. It's going to be a monthly membership starting very soon. And there won't be any lifetime memberships anymore at that site. Members receive this. They get immediate access to the videos, audios, bonuses, and everything else. They get easy to follow videos that show you what to do in a logical step-by-step manner. Now I'm building a site right now and I'm making videos like the one you're watching, except longer and more in depth. You get audio files for every video. You put them on your MP3 player, listen wherever you want to. Get transcripts of every video. Some people love video. Some people hate it. Some people say, I'm a reader. Man, give me something I can mark up and highlight and chew on and staple and pull apart. Yeah, we do that. We give you PDF transcripts of all the videos. And we have very powerful bonuses. You get a viral PDF that you can give away. Now what that means is that you can take this PDF and you can put your affiliate links in it and then give it away to as many people as you want to build your own list, or just give it as a gift on your website, or if you post on forums and your email signature, things like that. So remember, lifetime membership is closing. If you want to get into the game of using follow-up email marketing to sell your products, and I guarantee you'll sell more if you do, then, get in. I call it the 98% solution. We've got to find a solution to that 98% problem. Remember, 2% of the people who come to websites buy, 98% don't. Don't let them evaporate into the ether and never return. Reach out and contact them with email and say, hey, come back, look at my site again. I want your business. So, this is Charlie. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I sure have enjoyed making it for you, and I'll be making more. I hope you join Follow-Up Selling Systems and I get a chance to work with you, but whether you do or you don't, I wish you the best, and I hope you have a great day.